Welcome back to Tickets Please. I'm your host, Austin Gould. Along with me, as always, is my number one buddy, Carson Gray, my number one co host. Also on camera this week, once again, folks, so everyone can enjoy that. I'm still figuring out the Google thing. I want him to be on camera the whole time when I'm recording on Google. We're working it out. Otherwise, Carson has to talk more, which is not a bad thing at all because he's the best part of the show. So we'll get him more in. But in today's episode, we're doing another ranking list, and we're ranking the 6 lands in Magic Kingdom and putting them in order of which we like best. And so we've done one of these before, but a quick reminder: there's only 6 options for this list. And so if it's in 6th place, it gets 2 points, and then if it's in 1st place, it gets 12 points. Carson made a list, I made a list, and then I combined our lists to make one Tickets Please list. We will go over the Tickets Please list throughout the episode, and at the end we'll go over our individual lists. But just up top, this list is kind of an abomination. Because it was just me and Carson doing this, we're so either the exact opposite of each other or the exact same thing that our lists ended up being like, you'll see what I mean in a sec here. But yeah, Carson's list I have a lot of questions about, not because it's bad or anything. I'm just very curious about some of his rationale. But so without further ado, Carson, are you ready to get started?
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Good to be here again with all of you. I'm very excited to do this listing, and honestly, I think that's one of the best parts of our friendship, Austin. Is these things are literally a coin flip for the both of us, and we
Yep.
don't know until we start talking about it. And this is yet
Uh,
another thing to develop that friendship further that we're gonna
Yeah.
talk more
Well,
about.
one
So,
of yours is what I was so confused by, so I'm curious to know about. But also reminds me that we're up to 260 subscribers, past the 250 mark last week. This will be the last time I mention subscribers until we get up to 500. But all that to say, we appreciate you watching and listening. If you have any ideas for episodes in the future, let us know. We love having Braden on. He's the third host of this show. We'll also be off next week because I'll be out of town. I'll actually be visiting with my number one boy there, Carson, back home for the Thanksgiving holiday, seeing my folks out there. So no episode next week. We'll be back the following week with some Christmas-related content. But yeah, keep engaged with us here and find us on TikTok and Instagram at Tickets Please Pod. You can also find me at Austin Gould on Instagram. So with all that obligatory stuff out of the way, jumping in with the Tickets Please list for Magic Kingdom lands ranked. Coming in at number 6. This is where the shit starts immediately, Carson, because we have a tie for number 6
oh,
and yeah, 6 and 5 is a tie. So we have to determine between what is 6 and what is 5th place. That being Liberty Square, which had 12 points, and Adventureland, which also had 12 points.
wow. Okay,
So
interesting.
if I look at your list, you had Liberty Square at your number 2. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So explain that to me because Liberty Square only has the Hall of Presidents, Haunted Mansion, because we're doing the lands as they are now, not because that's like the only way we can do it because like they change so
Mhm.
frequently, uh, and there's like food and shopping around that area as well. But there used to be the sailing ship Columbia, which is not there anymore because they're taking out the whole river. Because this list made me realize how kind of in dire straits Magic Kingdom is at the moment because it's going through a lot of construction. But yeah, so tell me about why you had Liberty Square ranked at your number 2.
Haunted Mansion is the biggest reason. That's one of my favorite rides. Not because of the Hall of Presidents. But I also remember Sleepy Hollow refreshments. I had
Mm-hmm.
when I was there during my visit. I had really good food there. I liked the food when I could have gluten. Little fun fact about me: I
Mm.
turned
The
25 and I no
Halcyon
longer
days,
have
baby.
gluten. Yeah, I don't remember if I talked about that or not, but anyway, when I was able to do it, they had excellent food at Sleepy Hollow Tavern. So those are the biggest reasons why they're sticking at number 2. Uh, because Haunted Mansion is just so good. If you haven't heard our Haunted Mansion episode, go check it out, and you'll hear why I love it so much. But that's my explanation for you, good sir.
Okay, so I like all that reasoning. I figured you put this high because of Haunted Mansion. I wanted to put it high because of Haunted Mansion, but also, folks, this is a little behind the scenes peek for you. The camera that I have is up here. Carson is filmed on a webcam down here on my laptop. So when I'm trying to talk to Carson, my brain short circuits because I want to look down at his eyes, which I have over here. But the camera should be his eye length. So I've got you were watching me get confused in real time. But anyway,
I'll do that with you, man. I'll look at the. I've been looking at my screen too. I'll look at my camera directly.
hey,
when I'm
we're
talking to you.
we're always improving here. But I wanted to put it higher because this is my last. This is my sixth place because I was like, is there any feeling in Liberty Square? Do I even clock that I'm in Liberty Square when I'm there? I was like, I love Haunted Mansion, but it's kind of its own thing. Like I don't feel like I'm in. Like I know it's a colonial style house in Magic Kingdom, but I don't feel like I'm in the colonial time because it's so. Especially now with the sailing ship gone. The river's gone. I was just like, this wasn't really high on my list. But it tied with Adventureland, and we both had. Oh no, you had Adventureland. Let's see here at number 4. Oh yeah, it was a tie. We both had it at number 4. We had Adventureland coming in with 6 points each, giving it a total of 12, tying it with Liberty Square. I like Adventureland a little bit more, and I'll advocate for it being in the 5th spot here. Because Adventureland has Jungle Cruise, Tiki Room, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Swiss Family Robinson. And I think those all kind of work together a lot more in a kind of a cohesive manner than Liberty Square. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And obviously, a lot more actual rides instead of just the
Mm-hmm.
Haunted Mansion or just sitting there watching really old animatronic presidents. Not
Yeah, I didn't
animatronic.
even
What am I
know.
saying?
To be
What
honest,
am
I
I
didn't even know
saying?
that it is
Rope.
animatronics. You're right.
Is that the right word? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, they're humans. They're not. Well, guess it depends
No,
on
they're
where you
animatronics.
stand on that. But animatronics. Okay. Anyway,
You're
yeah.
saying they're like based off a real person. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. But
Uh,
they're all that to say they're out of date, and so.
Yeah,
But yeah, no.
I didn't even know that Liberty Square had Hall of Presidents until today because I haven't been. I just don't go on that ride, and I would have thought that was on Main Street until I was doing research for today's
Okay.
episode.
I was honestly about to be like, you didn't connect Liberty Square with the presidents, but Main
I
Street.
get it now, but
Confusing it with Main Street. Yeah, that I can understand where you're coming from with that.
well, because
But
the Lincoln one, like like the one in Disneyland that's Abe Lincoln is on Main Street. And so that's what I was getting it conflated with. But okay, so we'll put Liberty Square at the 6th place, and we'll put Adventureland in the 5th place. Does that sound good to you?
yeah, that sounds great.
All right. And then Carson coming in at number 3 and 4, because guess what? There's another tie.
Oh my
We
gosh.
have Fantasyland at 14 points and Tomorrowland at 14 points.
Wow,
So
those were my sixth and fifth,
I
respectively.
know, yeah, it's because, and that's what I'm talking about. This is where our lists are interesting. Your 5th and 6th were my 1 and 2.
Really
Yeah,
interesting. Literally
your
flipped.
your Fantasyland was 6. My Fantasyland was 1. So it got 14 points.
Okay. Well, your
The
turn,
one I
man. How
want to
about?
talk, well, the one I want to ask you about because I was really surprised about Tomorrowland for you. I thought Tomorrowland would have ranked quite a bit higher
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That makes that makes total sense. Here, I'm pulling up the ride list again.
because, as it's been discussed in other podcasts, like for your amusement, Tomorrowland kind of has like Dead Mall vibes, especially in Disneyland. But Disney World, they got a lot more going on. They got the Buzz Lightyear ride, they got Space Mountain, they got they don't have Star Tours. That's not in that part of the park. They got
Mhm.
the Speedway, which sucks. They got Astro Orbiter,
Oh,
and they got the
they
People
have the
Mover.
laugh floor, the Monsters Inc. laugh floor.
And they have the Monsters Inc. laugh floor. They got like
Hmm.
6 rides. Some of them aren't great, but there's a lot to do in
Right.
Tomorrowland.
Yeah, I remember riding Space Mountain and not being too like impressed with that, I guess. It was a cool ride,
Damn, hot
but
take.
I just wasn't that impressed with it. Um the People Mover was pretty cool. I know that that's like an important like transit part of that section of the
Oh yeah,
Magic Kingdom.
people
But
people love the People Mover too.
yeah, um, yeah, I do need to try out that new Tron light cycle ride. Apparently that's
That's
there.
the other one. Tron is there. I haven't been on that either, but Tron
hmm
is there.
I have seen a POV of it on YouTube. It does look really cool, so I do want to check that out. That might help bump it up a little bit for me. But yeah, I I just don't like. I think it's because I don't remember a lot of like big impactful core memories in Tomorrowland. I know I've talked about Carousel of Progress, how much I liked that, and that still
Yeah,
stands.
Carousel of Progress is there. That's your favorite. You love Carousel of Progress.
I know, and that's still I still stand by that. I just besides like in terms of like personal experiences outside of Carousel of Progress though, it just wasn't. It's kind of like that same take about Haunted Mansion being in Liberty Square, where you're just kind of like, okay, yeah, like one of my favorite rides is here. It's just like the land itself. I'm just kind of like not as impressed by. I don't know why. I'm just not as impressed by it.
I totally get that. It's definitely like an amalgamation of a land. Like there's a bunch going on. Like Tron doesn't really fit with Monsters Inc., which doesn't really fit with Speedway,
No,
which doesn't really fit with Space Mountain.
I think it's
Like
just. I think
and
that's why
then
it's just a bunch of like pieces that are
mm-hmm.
weirdly fit together.
They're like they have like a future besides Monsters Inc. But they have like a future aspect about them in some capacity. Uh, that's like the run through. But there's 8 attractions. I think the design of it is really cool. Like like Space Mountain like stands in my brain so clearly of that like beautiful white building. That's the original. And so it was my number 2 because I usually when I think about Tomorrowland I don't like it that much, but I kind of was thinking of the Disneyland one, but the Disney World one I think is a lot better. But that was tied with 14 points with Fantasyland, which was your 5th, right? Or no, that was your
Yes.
6th.
No, that was my sixth.
That was your 6th. And I get it because like I'll tell you a little bit about why I think Fantasyland was my number 1 on
Which
my
is
list.
that's a hot take for me. Yeah, it's your turn, man. Put you on
It's
the hot
it's
seat.
a it is a hot take, but I had a hard time with this list. I kind of flipped back and forth a lot because like my favorite ones that I think about are like Frontierland and Liberty Square because that's like I like the Haunted Mansion and I like Frontier just in general. But when I think about Disney and I was looking at like the attractions, they got Barnstormer, they got Dumbo, they got Small World, Mad Tea Party, Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. They got all the meet and greets with the princesses and some of the Disney characters like Donald, Mickey, Minnie. They have Mickey's PhilharMagic. They got Peter Pan's Flight. They got the Carousel, Little Mermaid, Under the Sea. And they also have one of my low-key favorite attractions, which is the Seven Dwarves Mine Train. And they also have the Be Our Guest dinner experience, which I have not been to. I've heard mixed things about it, but I heard the experience is very cool. And when I was like, when you think about Disney, you think about the castle, right? That like at least I do. That's like what comes to head immediately. And I was like, and that's what Fantasyland is. It's like dressed. I feel like it's the most cohesive land. Like I feel like all the rides, besides kind of Winnie the Pooh, kind of doesn't fit exactly. I feel like they mesh well together, and it gives like the right feeling of like when I was there, a couple years ago, this was the land that I was like, this is the most cohesive land. I feel like I'm in a fantasy town that is uniquely Disney, and so that's why it was my number 1.
Okay. Yeah, I can take that hot take. That I agree that it is a very cohesive section and it's all the like iconic characters there. For me, it's just like there aren't really big rides are not in that area, and so like I just and I didn't when I was there I didn't really go around meeting a lot of the princesses or anything like that or the actors that were there. I also haven't ridden the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, so I can't speak much about that.
That's a
But
good point. I forgot about
it
that. I mean, I didn't see the princesses either. I can't really swing that. Be like, I'm gonna wait in line to meet Belle. I can't really swing that.
I
But
the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is there, and that is a good
yeah,
ride.
you love that ride.
I do like
I
that
like
ride.
Mickey's PhilharMagic too. Peter Pan Flight's great. And yeah, I love Seven. That's my like low key favorite. Is like Seven Dwarfs My Train. So that's why I was there.
That's
But
cool.
I'll let you decide, Carson. Between fourth and or fifth, is that right? Sorry, between fourth and third place, where do you want to put Fantasyland and Tomorrowland?
Okay, let's say Tomorrowland fourth, Fantasyland third.
Okay, I can live with that. I think that's good. That's actually the order I put it in on the list because I had to choose, and so I agree with you there. So far, sixth place Liberty Square, fifth place Adventureland, fourth place Tomorrowland, third place Fantasyland, and then we're moving on to guess what? Another tie, Carson.
No, wait. In
Yep,
thirds? In
we
thirds?
had
That's
yeah
wild.
every yeah everything was in thirds in the tie. Coming in with both 16 points. And now it's time for your hot take. We have Frontierland with 16 points. It came in at third for both of us, so we've got 8 points. And then coming in at fifth for me is Main Street USA, and number one for you is Main Street USA with 16 points. So tell me about it,
Mm-hmm.
Carson. Why do you like
Main
Main
Street.
Street?
Okay. It is because that is where you'll see all of the like big live performances, like the parades. That's where you see like the night shows that they do with the castle, where they do I don't I oh, what's it called? I'm gonna look it up while I'm rambling about it, but
The
it's
fireworks show.
fireworks show. The show where you see the actress playing Tinker or actor playing Tinkerbell on the zip line at night,
Yeah,
waving like
happily
swinging
ever
and waving their
after.
I think I've talked about it on here before, but there's a really good like short video that I saw where it was one of the Tinkerbell actors and they were prepping to take flight. And so once they got pushed off, because the camera was close enough, you could see them starting the magic wand waving. And so from a distance, it looks more like elegant and stuff. But when you're up close, because they have to do it so large, it looks like they're going like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're also getting
yeah.
like
Like,
flung across the world.
I'm like, oh my gosh, it's hilarious. But so that's a reason. Uh, Another big one that sticks in my heart is the Dapper Dan's Barbershop Quartet is there, and a little bit about me. I grew up with barbershop music in my life because my dad, um, through like literally up till this day, 29 years and counting, because he did it before I was born, was in the barbershop chorus here in town called the Sound of Illinois Barbershop Chorus. And I've learned that the Dapper Dans, they most of the time they hire like gold medal international barbershop quartet members to be able to do this for like a certain length of time for a contract. I don't know how long those contracts are, so I can't speak to that. But I remember going there with my dad, uh, when I and that was when I was like 8 or 9, and so we got to watch the Dapper Dans there, and that was a really cool experience. And I got to wear one. They put one of their hats on top of my head. It was so fun.
That's awesome. That was in Disney.
Yeah, yeah, that was in Disney World in Orlando. It was so cool.
I'm very proud of myself here because when you told me Main Street, initially I was like, "What?" And then I thought about it and I was like, "If I know my boy as well as I think I do, I bet he put it there because it has the live performances and because of Dapper Dan's."
There you go. You got it.
I was I was like, I'm pretty sure that's why he put it high. I don't. Yeah, I think that's. I think I initially I had like a. There's no like attractions, like there in the like common sense. There's like
Right. There's
I think
not.
you can go on like go on like the streetcars that and they maybe have like a horse and wagon that you can like get in. But I was like, you know what? It's the first place you go into, right? Like obviously
Yeah.
it's the Main Street USA. It's where you walk into for
It
Magic
is. It
Kingdom.
is the heartbeat of the park. Yeah.
Yeah, and you get to see all the big, like you get to see the castle in the distance and the Space Mountain in the distance, and it really sets like the tone correctly. After I was thinking about it, I still put it at fifth on my list, not because it was bad, but because it's, like I didn't have the attractions for me. But I'll be honest, one of the things I like to do. I don't buy anything, but I like to walk around to all the stores that are on Main Street, like the
Yeah. The
candy
stores are really
store and
cool.
like yeah, it's just fun to see the merch, and you get like your day started like on a nice soft manner. It's not like getting hit in the face with everything Disney has to offer. It sets the tone right, and this is where like the parades are. This is probably where you were when you did the parade back in high school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
And we got to go backstage for all that my junior year of high school too. So man, I guess I've been there a total of 3 times so far. So that's interesting to learn about myself. But yeah, I was there. I was there junior year of high school because our band got to go and perform in the Thanksgiving Day parade, which was really cool. we got to have all of Animal Kingdom to our or
Yeah,
all of
that's
a
when you
section
wrote
of
it.
Animal Kingdom to ourselves. Yeah,
They wrote Everest 45 times or whatever.
yeah, that was. Oh, my head was spinning.
Imagine doing that now. That's like hospital bed.
Yeah, for real.
But because that's Main Street, and like I also there's very good dining on Main Street as well, like Crystal Palace, Casey's Corner, which has like the hot dogs.
Casey's Corner was rocking. I love Casey's Corner.
Yeah, they have great food. I think I'll agree with you, but before we get to that, we'll talk about Frontierland, which was tied for first, which was interesting to me because of all the changes to Frontierland. Because they're doing that big construction in Magic Kingdom right now that everyone knows about. They're putting in the behind Big Thunder. They're putting in new Cars Land, which looks like, I don't like Cars really much, but the land looks really cool. It looks like the PNW, and I bet the ride's gonna kick ass because the other Cars ride kicks ass. But
Yeah.
then the cooler one is behind Haunted Mansion, which is gonna be the villains part of the park. Do you know about that, Cars?
No, I don't, but that sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah, they're gonna do like a whole villain section that's like, I think it's called like Villains Land, where like all the Disney villains like Maleficent and all that jazz. I think she's like the queen of the land.
I don't like that
And I
name.
think
They could do better with the name.
Villains Land. It might not be Villains Land. Don't quote me on that.
Okay, okay.
It's something.
I was like, mm-mm. That's not the answer.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. But it is like where all the villains are going to be. The artwork looks great. I'll throw up a picture of the artwork right now. I know it won't look like that because it's just like concept art. But I would love to own this piece of concept art, and someone can send me a link. Yeah, and so I'm excited for that. But because of that, Frontierland kind of got like, there's a bunch of construction. They took out Rivers of America, which was like kind of, it really kind of helped the flow of Frontierland. I actually don't even like, it's interesting to think about what it looks like now without it. But because when I was there last, like that was like the big area you walked around. But still in Frontierland, they have Country Bear Musical Jamboree, which I personally love,
Hmm.
even though I know it's not that good. They
Yeah, I
have
like it a lot. I love that one.
they have Tiana's Bayou Adventure, with the new one, which used to be Splash Mountain, now Tiana's. And they have Big Thunder, which I know is closed until 2026 January, but it will be open soon. But I put this one. Let me see here. Let me go back to my individual list. This was my, oh yeah, it was both of our number three, and I just feel like it's a nice like key part of the park. I know Walt Disney loved like the Old West. I love the Old West, and so I love like the theming around it. I also like the Bayou, and so I like the Tianas and Splash Mountain, like what used to be Splash Mountain. And this is the other area of the park where I feel like its theme works extremely well. Like it's very cohesive, and they need more. Like when they done with Cars Land, I might feel differently about it. I think they
Hmm.
need like one more solid thing here. I know there's good food, but for me, I would put this at number two, and I would leave. Even though it was low on my list, I would personally leave Main Street as number one because I think you sold me.
Okay. Yeah, sweet. I agree with that.
All right. So that our official list is Main Street number one, Frontierland number two, Fantasyland number three, Tomorrowland number four, Adventureland number five, and Liberty Square, which is number six. It was pretty close. The point difference between first place and sixth place is literally 4 points, so it's all pretty close together. We'll do more of these in the future when it comes to like other parks. But I'll
Hmm.
share my personal list right now, and a little bit of reasoning, and then I'll let Carson do the same. My number six was Liberty Square. My fifth was Main Street. Fourth was Adventureland. Third was Frontier. Tomorrowland was number two. And Fantasyland was number one. If I had to do it again, maybe I would move Tomorrowland around, but I still kind of like my reasoning. I do think Fantasyland rules, and they have a great hot fudge sundae, and I really like that Seven Dwarves Mine Train ride. I got to get you on that, but yeah, that's my list. Carson, hit us up with yours.
Uh, so I probably would, if I could do it again, I probably would flip it around a little bit. But here's my list. Fantasyland at number six, Tomorrowland at number five, Adventureland at number four, Frontierland at three, Liberty Square at two, Main Street USA at one. Going back after talking about this with you, I would go ahead and put Tomorrowland probably at the like, bump it up to the four spot and put Adventureland down at the five spot. Uh, and then keep everything else the same.
It is weird. I like Adventureland, but there's something about it is missing to me. Adventureland at Disneyland is way better than Adventureland at Disney World. So I know you haven't been to Land yet, but
Yeah, I haven't, so I can't really speak to that part. But
that's why
I
I
would
put
love
it
to do
low.
that with you. At some point, we should do that together.
Oh
Um,
hell yeah, we will
yes, and so
manifest.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I explained my reasoning pretty well with the rest of them, so
Yeah,
I'm not too worried about saying anything further about that. But yeah, I think our mutual scoring and then our individual scoring makes a lot of sense, and then the adjustments we would make that we just talked about would be like the list for both of us.
yeah, absolutely. I think our final list is a pretty good list. I thought our individual lists were so monstrous that combined they actually worked out to be a pretty good list.
Yes, I totally agree.
Uh, But yeah, that will do it for this episode. Nice little short form
It's a quick
content for
one.
you, about
Yes,
30
sir.
minutes. Nothing wrong with that. We have a variety of content here at Tickets Please.
Hmm.
And like I said, no episode next week as I'll be gone, and you and yours should have a wonderful Thanksgiving and enjoy time with family, of kith and kin, and enjoy a nice meal. And then after the holiday, we'll be back with holiday content. This is a surprise for Carson, but we're going to be covering Small World. I forget what the overlay called, but they do a big Christmas overlay. So we'll do an episode about that, and we'll also talk about have an episode about the lights that they have for the Living with the Land ride. So look forward to that Christmas content coming down the line. But Carson, I'll let you take us out. Anything you want to say to the people?
Thanks again for listening to all these. We're having a blast doing this with all of you, listening as well. And thank you for the engagement. And I have had a couple people reach out to me about some stuff. So, with
Have
their
you really?
experiences, with experiences in their theme park employment. So, I will
Well, hot
talk to you.
damn.
I'll talk to you more.
We'll offline that, and because
Exactly.
I'm
Little
curious to hear
surprise,
about that.
little surprise for you there too, Austin. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But yeah, that's really all I got, folks. Thank you for
Yeah,
tuning in.
actually,
Thank.
I
Oh,
and
go
I know I
ahead.
said I was going to let you outro, but I forgot I wanted to mention this. We got a great comment from Emilio oh my god, Emilio Meldinez on YouTube on our last week's video, the Cat in the Hat video, and he had some great insight about how the animatronics used to be great and they just haven't updated them, but a little bit more about how they were made and the company that made them. So I just wanted to give him a shout out because that was a great comment, and we appreciate the interaction on our YouTube videos. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Emilio, and thank you to everybody else who's reached out to me too. That's so cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
keep
excited to
that
hear about
engagement
that.
going. Love to see that starting to spark. That's really fun. So,
Yeah,
all right, everyone.
absolutely.
Thank you very much, and take care.